Right guys, welcome back to Inspire Gym TV. First couple of podcasts by now have gone down really well. So today's interview, we're out of the studio and we've made a quick setup here before we start training. I'm joined today by current title Masters Ireland's Strongest Man, Jonny Kelly. 2 times Ireland's Strongest Man prior to that, isn't it? Just two? Multiple times Ulster Strongest Man. What was your biggest in the UK's?
Came second
I thought second.
in 2017 and third in 2013.
So with self and Jonny first getting strongman, we worked it out over the weekend there. It's 14 years ago.
Yeah.
That we met, but you had 15 years.
Yeah, I had 1 year before that.
Yeah. Going back 14 years ago, travelling to a farm in Market Hill in Armagh. My first time going down, it was how I weirdly got into strongman was there was a newspaper article that was put out where Glenn was retiring and he was looking the next prodigy.
Yeah.
And it was my granda who was like, tell Chris to read this newspaper. And then I remember going on the dial-up tone internet in the house to like Google I was strongman.
Sorry, what that is.
Yeah. And then got a telephone number, phoned the telephone number, and it was Glenn, and he says where the yard was and all, and headed down training, and that was it then after that. But looking like where we're at now and how we're training now, rewinding the time type of thing, like we were training in a cow shed, in a farm.
Yeah.
Like that was the gym for strongman.
And then that was the case for lots of strongmen at that time. There wasn't setups in gyms, there wasn't basic gym equipment. You had to go somewhere that had it, and normally it was somewhere in a field or in the yard somewhere. You had to do all your own setup, drag all the equipment out, train, put it all back away again. Whereas now, most gyms have some sort of strongman equipment. Yeah. And you can get one within driving distance that you can train in every week.
Yeah. And it's, we were saying there, we were talking about this a while ago, and the equipment wasn't like, empty frames. Like the equipment that we had to drag out was like what they actually used in competition.
Yeah.
So it was like, like the farmers weighed like 100 kilos and stuff, and like the log weighed 100 kilo, and the yoke was like 300 kilo of steel and stuff, and it just made like, very, very, very different. Like back then, starting strongman. My first competition that I remember was Ulster Strongest Man in down near IKEA, that health spa place in the car park.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, in Hollywood.
Yeah, I remember that being like my first competition.
That was my first Ulster Strongest Man too.
Was it?
Yeah. I did an office show before that, but that was the first like full open show I did.
I actually seen a photo of it the other day, and back then I don't know if I had the bandana and all.
Yeah, that's right.
So I've actually ordered a bandana.
You got it back
for next month. Yeah, I've ordered a bandana for next month or something to go back to like how it all started, to start wearing a bandana again. But it's mental like how much, strongman for us as athletes, as a sport as a whole, for fans, like how it's developed. Like we started off in a car park with 50, 100 people watching us, to going into stadiums with 5,000-10,000 people watching us. Like it's absolutely mental like how it's came along. But to be in the, like you've gone into the master stage now, but like we both still have a lot of years of strongman left in us, even though we've had like a lifetime.
Yeah, we've had a long time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the masters because it's a chance to compete with guys my age. Yeah, I've gone through a lot in the sport and bodies have been beat up and broken loads of times, and we just go out and enjoy it, have fun.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind fast forwarding like. I feel that my body qualifies for a Masters right now. Maybe not so much my passport, but my body qualifies for it. So training, you started training obviously Inspire, probably, what was it, in October last year?
Yeah.
And around then. Yeah. And training has gone, like, started off, there's a lot of rust, a lot of rusty bolts. Like, but it's going good places now. Like.
Yeah, I'm feeling really good about training. Like when I started training with you, it was tough to get back into it after 4 years of basically just going to the gym and doing very little myself, just keeping my body ticking over, and then getting back into proper programming, doing proper deadlift press sessions. Those first few weeks took a lot of adjusting to going home at night tired, sore again. But I've enjoyed it, and the strength's come back reasonably quickly. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into the competition season now and seeing how far I can go again.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast or an interview that Terry Holmes did a while. I think it was with Brian Shaw, and he was talking about the difference in strongman and in bodybuilding. And he was saying one of the things with bodybuilding, you get up the next day and your muscles are sore and your body aches. He says, but strongman is like a pain that nobody can fathom because it's not your muscles, it's like your actual joints and your actual bones that hurt in strongman. And it is like, I had a period of time out there when you're in the gym and you know you're smashing big sessions and you're getting up the next day and you were aches and pains. But so when you actually start doing strongman again, you realise, here's this pain again, like here it comes. Like, you know, that's the only better part for me was hard to go back to.
Yeah.
Was being in that much bloody pain every day, like, you know.
Yeah, I remember back before when I was in competition season, and you're lifting implements that no one else lifts, like stones, yokes. You're putting your body through stresses that you can't do just in normal plates in the gym. So yeah, I remember Eddie Hall describing it. It's like waking up like you've been in a car crash 5 days of the week, and then you get your weekend off.
That's
and
true.
That's basically what it's like. You wake up and everything's sore.
You would wonder why if you get the asked question, why do you do this sport? It's something that it's one of them sports that just grip you, but you do think to yourself, why the hell am I doing this sport at times? Like, you know what I mean? Especially when you get them mornings. Like I'm at stage now when I get up in the mornings, you know, there's a good hour before my body actually starts freeing up, moving again. But the thing about it was when I did take that time off, that left. You know, it didn't stay. It wasn't long term. It left, and like you were a lot more mobile and stuff. But it's part of the game, and I think a lot of things I am noticing about the word of strongman is that it's like 5 minutes of fame for like a hell of a lot of sacrifice and a hell of a lot of work. Like, you know, people never ever realise exactly what goes into lifting a trophy. Like they just don't get it. They just like, Johnny Kelly's a big strong man, he did well, but they don't realise like how much you had to graft. Like,
they don't realise all those winter times you're going to the gym, freezing cold, you're coming in here, it's freezing, you're starting with a couple of jumpers on, you're warming up, then you're putting a big heavy workout in, then you're going in, it's dark when you come in, dark when you come out. That people don't see that. Don't see the hours of eating that you have to go through. People think, oh yeah, it must be great being a strong man, you can eat whatever you want, but you try force feeding yourself for 6 months solid.
It's the worst part.
It's the worst part of strong man.
Yeah, I once said, done an interview before, and they were like, oh, you know, it must be great the way you want. And I'd be like, you get so sick of food. Like, there's times where like, my favourite thing is my mum's pavlova, and I'm so sick of food. If you set it down, it's still a chore to eat that. It's like you get no enjoyment out of anything you eat. It's just, and then that's when you keep trying to like vary your food and get nice stuff and try this, try that, and it just doesn't matter. It's just shit. The fact you have to eat so much.
That's even, I find when I'm in work and you're talking to normal people, and they're eating food for the taste and their enjoyment, and you don't realise it, but you're just in that phase where you're just basically shoveling food into you, and they say to me, you must have even tasted that, and I think to myself, you know what, I didn't, because you're eating the same food day in, day out. You're not just want to get, you're just shoving it in your mouth.
There's loads of things I've done over the years as well, like that struggle to eat is a big thing. And it's like, you know, sitting in the house watching Netflix cooking programs of barbecuing and all, just to like get the mouth watering, just so you can keep eating and keep eating. But the food side of things is a huge part of it. The recovery as well, like, you know, even going back to strongman training last year and go back to competing again. Prior to that, like the 2 years I had off, you know, I was up at 5 a.m. every morning then and working and stuff. And it was like, I can't do that anymore. I can't run on like 4 or 5 hours sleep a night, like, and do strongman. Like, I need to get like good sleep and like, you know, proper 7-8 hours sleep. And even sacrifices like that there, you know. But it's a sport now that is becoming more and more rewarding because the opportunities we have now are pretty huge. So you look at your line out ahead this year. First on the bucket list was Ireland's Strongest Master. Won that at the weekend. Next is UK Strongest Master, and then Europe Strongest Master, and that's the 3 that we set out to achieve this year. So it's 1 out of 3 so far, and the one you done at the weekend past, like, has to be said. You know, we said we would treat it as a training session. You're still in off season, and you were in the middle of a restoration phase as well. We trained one of the events because it was deadlift and you won it, and the other ones you held your own apart from making a blip in the press.
Yeah.
But like, you know, going into the next shows, like where you're at now, strength we have now, and we haven't peaked, we haven't programmed, and we haven't actually trained for a show or event. It's bound to be exciting to see, like coming both your next comps are in August, like actually training for things, working for things going into August. Like, it's bound to be exciting of what's going to actually come.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That sort of training. That, as you say, the show at the weekend we treated more as training and stuff like that, but it's great just to get out and actually do a comp, compete with guys again, make the stupid mistakes you're going to make because you haven't. That's my first competition in 4 years, so it was a nice wake up call as well to show me. Like, I'm not competition fit. I may be, like, the gym lifts are going great, everything feels really strong, but I still, it was a good sort of wake up to say, listen, we still need to put the work in to make sure I'm ready for a competition when it comes August. Yeah. And it was a nice wee taste, dip the food in, see that I still love it, really get the head down, and I know come August I'll be in real good shape. And
August is going to be a fun month, like, for sure. What would you know, obviously, me and you had a long spell this year. Made a lot of mistakes over the years. For new people going into strength sports, like, what would your sort of top advice be, your top tip, you know, first thing to do going into like a strength sports, strongman, powerlifting or whatever?
My top tips, get someone that knows what they're doing, because you're going to be lifting equipment that you don't want to go just a normal gym PT and say I want to do strongman, because he's not going to know how to lift yokes, he's not going to know how to lift logs, stones, everything. No. You want somebody that's got that knowledge that can teach you the proper technique, because it's so easy to injure yourself without the proper sort of safety technique and lifting these things. Again, somebody to do proper programming. You don't want to be busting yourself every week. You want to cycle through phases, peak for comps, come down again. So yeah, get somebody who knows what they're doing, get the proper equipment, train smart, don't go in, don't try and do too much too fast. A lot of guys want to come in, they want to win the first competition in the first year, but as we know, it just doesn't happen like that. No. You need to go in, see where you're at, and it's a game of constantly improving, so go see where you're at, and then better yourself every week, come in the next competition better and better, and if you keep doing that, you'll get the trophies that you want.
That rushing into thing is something that me as a coach, with my clients, sometimes it's very hard for me to settle their heads with, and I get it, I understand it. Like, my first year at strongman, I wanted to be Ireland's strongest man. It's not realistic, you know, and then the next year, you know, you want to stay, like, it was always you want everything there and then. And as I say a lot, especially in the powerlifting world and stuff, if somebody came to me and their deadlift was at like 160, 170 kilos, in 4 months, yes, I could get them to lift 200 kilo, but I would rather them be able to come into the gym every day of the week as much as they want and be able to lift 200 kilo and have that for as long as they want until it goes up and up and up. It's easy. What I mean is, it's easy to get strength fast, but it'll not be long term. And when we started training, that's something I remember saying to you was like, I want your base to be that you can come into the gym any day, any week, and lift 350 kilo. That's your base. That's what you can always do, and we work off that. And now we're at the stage we can do that. If we got you and get you psyched up, like every day you could pull 350 now. Do you know what I mean? But if we rushed that, and like, you know, I could have pushed you to that. You'd have done 350 once, and then you couldn't, like a few weeks later, you would never be able to do it. You know, you wouldn't be able to do it until you rushed it again. So it's having that long-term base built up in people, which is key for like long-term lifting, long-term longevity, and looking after your body. You build up a really strong base, and make the base as big as you can, and then you peak off it for shows. Trying to get that into lifters' heads, especially newcomers into the sport. Whenever you see especially if you see the pros, like, you know, who come along in a couple of years and do so much, like look Richardson, for example, you know, just at such a young age done so much, like, you know, and even Eddie and stuff, like, came and accelerated through the sport. But, you know, not everybody is in that unique position or has that gift to be able to be that type of an athlete, you know, and other people need to actually get to work, you know, so it's quite difficult to get that into young new lifters' heads, that, you know, think long term. You know, you want to win a title, you want to win Ireland's strongest man. It's right. Okay, that's realistically, that's a 4 or 5 year plan to be able to achieve that. How long were you in the sport before you won Ireland?
My first Ireland was 2011, so that would have been 4 years.
4 years in.
4 years, yeah.
Which is about right, really. Do you know what I mean? Like 4 years of training and competing to move up through the ranks. We had a good rivalry at a few shows over the years. Like,
We did, yeah.
yeah. Cookstown's Ulster was the one that I remember the most. You were a fodder at that show.
Yeah, that win.
I'm not gonna lie, like, but it was just so annoying. Like, it was every event was just. I remember the grip hold as well.
Yeah.
But I was pissed off with you that grip hold. Like, we done the grip hold event, and it was literally like I dropped, and it was like a second later you went.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that was a head to head. There's a photo of us doing that head to head.
Was there?
Yeah. We were like side by side. I swore I was going to have you in it, boy. And then the next thing, it was one of them ones where you were like right on the fingers and the strap was right down.
Yeah.
And it just went, I was like, and then you just went, I was like, ah! It was like one more second, I would have had him. But no, it's been a good rivalry over the years. Like, it's, and like you look at the amount of shows that we went and done and stuff, like multiple times we were in Ulsters and Ireland's, but then UK, but the UK's the other a fey times. The 4 days, well, we did 4 Nations. That was one of the last shows that we did, was that 4 Nations. That was a bad turnout, but that was a bad day. Like, like the Ireland team did so shit. Like,
You got the wooden spoon that day, didn't we?
yeah, I think I was just over at that show like for the crack more than anything. And then I got there, I realised, oh, everybody's taking this really serious, like, and I haven't properly trained for it, like, but.
Yeah, that's another good thing about the sport. You meet people that are lifelong friends. Like, you go to competitions, there's guys you competed with, and you meet up with them, and you automatically just drop back in that zone. You make so many memories in the sport as well.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's one of the things it's like a get together a lot of the times. Like, you know, you do go to shows, and I think when you step away, you miss that a lot. I know you stayed involved with the refereeing and stuff like that there, like, you know, but. It is one of the things whenever you watch like the behind the scenes YouTube and stuff that people have now, and you're just. I think to be honest, I miss that as much, if not more, as competing. You know, as the media's out and stuff like that, and the chat and then getting involved and all. So the next we had coming up with both of us have coming up was the 50 cal deadlift.
Yep.
Larne, big bar behind us there, the Crowgoffs bar. 10-foot bar, ridiculous size of a bar, a max deadlift event held in the McNeil Theatre in Larne. It's good theatre to hold the show. Like, we've done really good comps in that before. Like, we ran the 4 Nations in it one year, and the atmosphere was crazy. Remember Brian Irwin doing the Hummer Tire deadlift in it, and the atmosphere, boy, was nuts. Like, mad atmosphere and that. It's a very small arena. But it's like you lift on the floor and the seats raise up in front of you, and it's like all the noise of the crowd is right on you. You know what I mean? And it's you feel that you're lifting in front of thousands, like, you know what I mean? But it's
the noise
like,
just
I think it holds like 250 people or something. But it's like really immense, like feeling lifting in it. So it'd be a good show, obviously for a good cause as well. It's for the Big C Foundation. Before that, we're both going over to the expo. The Fit Expo, isn't it you call it?
Yeah.
Fit Expo in Manchester. I go over for max log and deadlift in it. You're just over meeting and greeting and being a superstar.
Taking it easy, just watching all you guys lift.
Obviously, trying to help me into my sit, which is nearly a lift on its own.
Have the workout done.
Yeah. So yeah, big year ahead of us, and loads of work to do in the gym. I think this is a good point to say. I know a lot of lads in the gym have came to you and sort of talked to you and stuff like that there. But I think this is a good point to say that, you know, if anybody ever sees us in the gym, wants to chat, wants to ask questions, like, just absolutely crack on. Like, we're always open, even though the two of us look really scary and really, you know, especially when we're lifting and stuff. We're always open to questions. Like, just come and ask. Like, it's not an issue at all. Like, you know. Not in the middle of an actual deadlift or an actual squat, do you know what I mean? But like, if we're out and about the gym, like, please come up. Like, there's no issues in asking either the two of us questions. We're always here for that. And if you guys want to get involved, on the 50 cal deadlift is the 24th of June. Tickets for spectators is on the Big C website, which is www.bigcfoundationni.com. You can also register to lift in it as well. Now, this competition has everything from pro athletes to amateurs to first timers. It's a mix, and the reason it works so well in a competition like this is because it's for the charity, it's for the kids. So, you know, there's a lot of guys who aren't peaked yet, aren't like at their normal level, and I've said to them, look, a pull is a pull. It's a pull for the kids. You don't have to come and do your absolute best and peak for this show. And a lot of the guys have sort of, you know, understood that and are just coming to support, which is brilliant. There's been obviously Lucy's come to lift. I'm sure she'll be looking to do over 300 again this year. We heard today that Gavin, what's his surname? Gavin McNamee is looking to do 400 kilo at 90 kilos body weight, which is insanely impressive. And as a heavyweight deadlifter who's chased 400 for a long time, it's also sickening.
It is,
And not in a disrespectful way, but like that is like anybody who lifts has immense respect for that. Like immense respect for that, to be lifting 400 kilos at 90 kilo body weight.
Even for an open, there's a massive milestone. 400 kilos. 400
kilo is the, 400 kilo is like the second. Well, 300 is always your biggest milestone. Then you get 300, and always 400 goes, for some reason, it goes straight to 400 as your next lift. To be lifting at 90 kilo body weight, like, it's just incredible. Like, and massively aspiring too. Like, there's not a lot of people at that body weight are doing that.
No.
But like, it's so inspiring for people at that body weight. You know, Matthew McKeegan has talked about coming and doing the show as well. I'm not sure what body weight Matthew's at the moment, if he's still 105 or if he's going down the 90s or what. But he's normally
competing at 105 this year, so he'll be around about there.
He's normally a 400 kilo deadlifter, like in his sleep, like, you know. So those lifts are huge. Like, you know, me and you have 400 in our sights this year. Whether or not we'll be ready for June or not, don't know. But we'll give it a good go anyway. I'd like at that stage to be in around the 370, 380. I think if you're in around that stage too, we'd both be in the right direction. Gemma Moore has said that she's going to come and lift as well. Good deadlifter. Good to see her and Lucy pull together.
Good competition.
Yeah, there's a lot of good lifters that are sticking their heads up. Daniel McElroy said to me at the weekend that he's going to come back and lift. Like Daniel's just as big as ever, like, you know what I mean?
He's huge at the weekend.
He's a big her boy, like, he's just sitting up at him like that there and just thinking, you have so much potential by it, it's insane, like. But, you know, Britain's strongest man competitor, Ireland's strongest man champion, like, be good to have him there lifting. Still waiting to get the referee confirmed, but it's a world's strongest man referee, all being well. So yeah, going to be a brilliant show. So make sure, as a spectator or a lifter, get your ticket spot. We're going to wrap this up now for today. We just wanted to come on for two reasons. The enter just Jonny, because he's in the gym a lot now. So for you guys to get and understand who Jonny is, why he's in training and what our plans are, and secondly to tell you about the shows that we have coming up this year that you can come get involved with and support. So please do, and make sure as well, guys, if you're watching this podcast, if you've watching or listening to this podcast and you've enjoyed it, please screenshot it and share it on your Instagram and your socials, because it only helps to grow the podcast in the long term. So thanks again, guys, for listening, and take care. We'll see you next week.